Hi all, welcome to my channel. This is a basic exercise. What we are going to do is create a auto scaling group and test it whether it is scaling up with increasing workload or not. So you have to come to EC2 dashboard and then click on auto scaling groups. So we don't have any auto scaling group, so let me create one. Create auto scaling group. You can give any name. I'm just giving a simple name, ASG1. Launch template. I haven't created a launch template. What is a launch template? Whenever auto scaling group wants to scale up, what kind of EC2 it has to launch, whether it is a T2 micro or T3 small or whatever is the type. And there are a few more configuration parameters which we have to specify. For that, we have to create a launch template. So since I don't have one, I'm going to create a launch template. So here template name, I will give the template name as EC2 launch template 1. Any name you can give. Template version description, anything you can write. You can give a detailed description. I'm just saying V1. Leave everything else as default. Come down, application OS images. You can select a recent one which you have used. See this Ubuntu 24.04 I had used, so you can select that. It's okay. Instance type, I'll go with T2 micro. Key pair, select a key pair because you have to log into that. If you don't have a key pair, you will have to create one, but I already have, so I'm selecting that. Here don't change anything. Come here, security groups. If you already created some security groups, you can use that. I have created some DevOps related one, so let me choose that. If you don't have, you can create one by clicking on create security group. Storage volumes, no changes required. Come down, create launch template. Please note that you are not launching an EC2, you are just creating a template for launching EC2. So that is created. Come back to your auto scaling console. Here launch template, just refresh this and then select it. EC2 LT1 is already here. Version default, this is okay. Come down, click on next. So here, if you want to override launch template, you can do that, but I don't want to do that. I will go with the launch template. Network default VPC is okay. Availability zones and subnets. If you want to create your EC2s in multiple subnets, multiple availability zones, you can select that. I'm just selecting 2. Come down, go to next. No load balancer, no VPC lattice service. Health check grace period 300 seconds. You can go to next. Group size, what is the desired capacity? If you specify the desired capacity as 2, it will start with 2 EC2s. Or if you specify it as 1, it will start with 1. So I will just leave it as 1. And scaling limits, minimum desired I will put as 1, maximum I will put as 2. Anyway, it is just for testing, right? So we'll start with 1 and I will run some utility stress in the EC2 so that its utilization will go high and it will trigger auto scaling. Let us see how it goes. Let us go with target tracking scaling policy. So what is target tracking? We are saying please ensure that your average CPU utilization is around 30%. So I'm keeping it as a low value because you can easily hit that threshold value, that's why. So target value is 30, average CPU utilization. So what it will do is it will always try to keep the average CPU utilization of the auto scaling group as 30. So if it goes beyond 40 for the first EC2, it will create another EC2. So let us see how it goes. We will leave everything else as default values. Come down, next. Here send notifications to SNS topics. I haven't created any SNS topics, so I'll leave it. Next, tags. I'm not adding any tag for this auto scaling group. It is a good practice to add tags, but I'm not doing it now. So now I have entered all the values. Now I just need to create the auto scaling group. So when the auto scaling group is getting created, it will automatically launch one EC2 because I have given the desired capacity as 1. So let us go to EC2 dashboard. And you can see that there is one EC2 instance which is running. It doesn't have a name. I did not specify anything. So let me just edit it as. Okay. So you have one EC2 which is running. Now let me log into this and install a utility called stress. Later I will use that utility stress for increasing the workload on the CPU and thereby increasing the CPU utilization so that auto scaling will be triggered. So let me find out what is the connection string. This is the connection string. Let me log in. Yes. Okay. You can update your apt repository by issuing the command sudo apt update -y. So all the commonly used utilities in Ubuntu will be downloaded and the apt repository will be updated. Once that is done, I can install the stress utility by issuing the command sudo apt install stress -y. Now stress is already installed. I'm going to use the stress utility for increasing the CPU utilization by issuing this command sudo stress CPU2 run this utility for 300 seconds or 5 minutes on 2 CPU cores. So it will take up to 5 minutes before your auto scaling gets triggered. Let's go to auto scaling group and then look at some of the important configurations of auto scaling group. If you click on this, you can see desired capacity is 1, minimum is 1 and maximum is 2. When the auto scaling gets triggered, this desired capacity value will automatically change to 2. So we will see that when the auto scaling is triggered. As of now it says 1, but it will get updated automatically. Now if you look at this page, you can see desired capacity has already changed to 2. Now if you go to your EC2 dashboard and then refresh it, you can see that the second EC2 is actually getting initialized. That is because the CPU utilization of the first EC2 actually exceeded 30%. And if you wait for another 5 minutes, it will also do scale in. That is because the stress utility has already completed its run. So the CPU utilization will come down and automatically the scale in will happen if you wait for 5 minutes. But I'm stopping it here because this was intended for a beginner just to test how the auto scaling utility works. Okay, I'll come back with more similar useful AWS related videos. You may consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.